Hey guys, Denise Salcedo here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my review of Netflix's You. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When I first saw this movie on Netflix's Q, I kind of judged it a little bit. You know, don't judge a book by its cover. Well, I kind of did. I'm guilty, alright? I don't know why. I just did. I saw it and I thought, oh, it's probably not gonna be that good, right? Then one day yesterday, not one day. Yesterday, I was a little bored. I had nothing to do. I was tired. It was raining. I was like, I'm just going to take a lazy day off. And I spent it watching You. And I binge watched the entire series. And now all I want to do is talk about it, all right? That's literally all I want to do. All right, first and foremost, for those of you guys who don't know what You is about, I'm going to tell you what it's about. So it's about this guy, Joe, and this girl named Beck. So basically, Joe works at a library and he becomes like totally obsessed with this girl named Beck. She's an aspiring writer, but she's kind of a mess, guys. She's young. She's trying to find her way in life, that sort of thing. And Joe becomes like really, really obsessed with her. He meets her one day in the library, and then after that, he goes on her social media and he finds out all this stuff about her. Like he finds out where she lives, he finds out what she does for fun, etc. So he pretty much spends days outside of her apartment, literally just watching her. He watches the girl change. She watches her sleep with other guys. He watches her like even, you know, do personal stuff. If you guys know what I mean by personal stuff. All right, she does a lot and he basically just watches her. It's really creepy. Like you're kind of just like, ooh, right? Okay, so then afterwards, while he's like stalking her, because he starts stalking her, he follows her around. One day she gets really wasted. She falls onto some train tracks in an underground subway station in New York, and he saves her, right? Yay, woohoo, he saves her. And that night, they sort of start talking again after their first encounter. This is their second encounter. They start talking again. He steals her phone, and then from then on, he basically has like all these, like, he's connected to her. Let's just say, now that he has her phone, he knows all this other information about her, he's completely connected to her. So that's what this show is about. And then from then on, they start dating, and he's crazy, all right, guys? He's crazy. He, like, does bad things, but rationalizes it. So that's what you should know what this show is about. Hopefully, I did a somewhat decent explanation of that. Alright, so now guys, I'm going to go into some spoilers, so if you haven't seen the show, just kind of like, maybe don't watch this review video until you've seen it. So if you have not seen this TV show, please exit. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but if you do like spoilers, then stay here. So, guys, alright, so I just feel that this show was really intense. It was really crazy. It was kind of refreshing though. It was like a new type of show. So I love Lifetime. I love Lifetime shows. For those of you guys who don't know, You was a Lifetime show, but it got dropped by Lifetime because of low ratings, and then Netflix picked it up, and now season 2 is going to be like a Netflix show, a Netflix original, whatever. So yeah. So it's crazy, guys. So this is basically how I felt about this show. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and start with Joe. For those of you guys who don't know, Joe is Dan from Gossip Girl. He does really well in this film, guys. I'm not gonna lie, after I watched Gossip Girl, I kind of hated him. And when I started watching You, I wasn't too happy that he was in it. I was like, ew, I hate him from Gossip Girl. Ugh, right? And then afterwards, like literally, it didn't even take me like a few minutes into the show. I was like, okay, he's so good in this show. One of my favorite things about You is that throughout the entire show, you hear his narrative. You hear everything that's going on inside his mind. So the entire show, he's like guiding you through his thoughts and telling you everything that he's thinking, right? I absolutely loved this about the show. I think it was one of my favorite things about it, and I think that's what made the show really work, was because, you know, it's almost like he's justifying all his actions, and it creeps you out at how he does these like awful things like murder people and, you know, stalk this poor girl. And he justifies it because he's in love with Beck and he wants to protect her. And so it kind of like trips you out, you know, like, oh my god. But I liked that. I also liked that in a few of the episodes they did give like Beck, they did get into Beck's head as well, you know, sort of her mind and what she's thinking. I did like that, but But yeah, so I kind of wanted it a little bit more from Beck too, because I kind of felt that in the beginning of the series, I didn't really like Beck. I didn't like her because I kind of felt like she was a little messed up in terms of she did some things like, let's say Joe wasn't a stalker, right? Let's say he was just this nice guy, the guy that Beck thought she knew. That it was kind of messed up that she was still going out and seeing other guys behind his back, not to mention sleeping with her therapist. Yeah, that's kind of bad. So I didn't like her in that sense. And it's funny because I didn't actually start liking Beck until the end of the series once we found out, like, okay, she did sleep with her therapist, but she regrets it and she's in love with Joe, whatever, right? So it was literally like the last 2 episodes that I actually started really liking Beck. But yeah, it was kind of messed up though, because I felt like a messed up human watching the show. This show kind of tripped me out a little bit because in some parts I was agreeing with Joe. Not that I was agreeing with him like murder people or anything like that. I was definitely not agreeing with that. But I was kind of agreeing with him in terms of like Beck sometimes needed him. You know, she was kind of a mess sometimes. So that kind of tripped me out. I was like, what? I'm cheering for the stalker? That is so weird. But I think what did that and what tripped me out as a viewer was the narrative and hearing them justify it, and it was kind of messing with my head too. I really hope that I'm not the only person who felt this way, because I already felt bad enough that I felt this way, that I sometimes supported Joe. Not that I supported him, but I felt bad, and I didn't think he deserved a happy ending, but I can tell that, you know, he did, like, obviously have these feelings for Beck, and he loved her, and I kind of felt that I wished that she loved him back, but then afterwards, when I would remember, like, what he did, I'd kind of go back on that. But anyways, that's kind of how I felt about Joe, how I felt about Joe and Beck's relationship. Now, one of the other things that I do want to touch on is Peach. Okay, so Peach is played by Shay Mitchell. So I loved Peach in this, because I love Shay Mitchell in this mainly because she's so awful. Like, she's such an awful person in this movie. I mean, why do I keep calling it a movie? This TV show. In this TV show, she's kind of an awful person, and I think that she literally played the bad, evil version of her character on Pretty Little Liars. That's kind of how I felt about her here. Then I also felt that she would have been perfect in Gossip Girl, because, you know, she plays the evil mean girl. She would have done really well in Gossip Girl. Anyways, but I really liked Shay Mitchell's character. I thought it was strong. I thought that she played a good counterpart to Joe, where they were both in love with Beck, and they were kind of like, you know, at each other. That was an interesting portion of it. And the other character that I really loved was Paco. Now, keep in mind, this was like before the ending. He was so cute, guys. Paco was adorable. So cute. His little smile and everything. So now that we're talking about Paco, I think we should jump into the ending. So, guys, throughout the entire season, the first season, they sort of teased that Joe had killed his ex-girlfriend Candace. So obviously we kind of had a feeling that there was a possibility that he would also kill Beck. Now, granted, I thought that we were going to go the happy ending route. I didn't think that Joe was going to die necessarily, but I did think that he was going to get caught in some sort of way by the end of the season. I did not think that Beck was going to be killed whatsoever, okay? When I found out Beck died at the end, I was seriously shocked, because like I said, I was already liking her character at this point. I already felt like I knew her. I was rooting for her. You know, I put myself in her shoes. You know, I imagined myself also locked in a glass cage. You know what we do when we watch TV show, put ourselves in their shoes. So I definitely did not want Beck to die. And when she did, I was like, whoa, that is so messed up. It was really, really messed up, guys. And what's worse is that Paco had a hand in that. And I didn't see that coming either. When Paco, so at the end where she's like banging and she's almost, there's a slight chance of her surviving. Paco sees her. She yells for help. He literally sees her face. She tells him, Joe's gonna kill me. And because Joe was always so nice to Paco, and Paco did, you know, he did care about Joe. They bonded. And, you know, and he didn't help Beck. Guys, he didn't help Beck. I didn't see that coming. That really messed me up, because, you know, the whole season he was this nice kid who had these parents that weren't so great. You know, I hated Ron, whatever his name was, Ron, the dad, the stepdaddy, whatever. I hated him. the boyfriend of his mom. Yeah, I hated him, and I didn't hate the mom, but I really felt she should have been a better person, and she should have taken care of her son, whatever. So I really felt bad for Paco. So when he like totally turned his back on Beck, he did like a full like heel turn on her. It was so messed up, and that was really shocking, actually. It kind of made me not like Paco at the end. But anyways, that was a messed up ending, guys. It really was. And I think that it was really sad that happened to her. And it really made me kind of paranoid afterwards. Like, I know that I couldn't be the only person who felt paranoid. I kind of don't want to go on social media anymore. And I'm definitely going to make sure that my curtains are always down so no one's looking outside my window. But this show kind of messed me up in that sense where, like, it really teaches you that so many people can learn so much about your life through social media. And I didn't like that. That was kind of creepy. But other than that, it was a really good show. I honestly recommend it for anybody because it really keeps you, like, suspense. And, like, I was trying to work or watching the final few episodes and I couldn't. I was literally just like stuck to the TV watching this. So really good show. I can't wait for season 2. So season 2 is literally going to be just on Netflix. Like a Netflix officially picked it up. I mentioned that earlier. And we definitely have tons of questions. So I think season 2 is going to be different in terms of, you know, now we found out that Candace isn't dead. At least I don't think she's like a vision. She's like not dead. Since she comes in at the end of the scene where she comes in and she's in the library where Joe's working and he's already checking her out. Already forgot about Beck, I may add. Oh. So yeah. So now we need to know what the heck really happens between him and Candace. We don't really know. So now it's kind of just a wait and see game. The second thing that we need to know is the PI going to catch up to him? Obviously, they gave us that hint where he was one of the few people that did not believe the story that was published by Beck in her book. He didn't believe it. He called BS on it. So will he find out that, you know, that behind all of this and behind everything that's bad that happened to Beck and to Peach, that, you know, that Joe did it? Is he going to find that out? We don't know. So that's two things. One of the other things, I know that Paco moved away, so he's essentially out of the story, but he holds the truth, though. He holds the key. So will Paco sort of ever come back and, you know, be a part of the show again? I don't know. I think that if he does come back, it might be just to kind of be like, hey, I know he did this for a fact, whatever. But will he, though, because he loves Joe? I don't know. So those are some of the questions that we have now for season 2. And yeah, guys, that's sort of my review and everything that I had to say about You. I loved the show and I'm super excited about season 2 and I really think everybody should watch it. It's a good one, guys. It's a good one. Alright, so guys, thank you so much for watching my review. I'm going to try to do more reviews on other shows and TVs and movies. Movies and TV shows that I watch. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about Netflix's You. If you're going to watch it or if you already watched it. If you kind of felt the same way I did in certain parts, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I have lots of interviews, reviews, and a bunch of other random stuff that I throw in there that I feel like doing. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you liked my review, please give it a like. If it sucked, I'm so sorry. Alright guys, until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.